Hi everyone, for my project I analyzed the Google Year in Search campaign that began in 2010 and still exists today. But in order to analyze this campaign, it's important to start at the beginning. In June of 2009, Google started an internship program called the Google Five. The Five, being five students selected to work in Google's Creative Lab, contributed on some of the biggest projects Google had to offer. One of the most important projects the Five created was a video called Parisian Love. The video was featured in the 2010 Super Bowl, and it told the story of a person studying abroad, then falling in love, and ending with them building a crib. But this was all shown through search. Today, the video has over 8 million views. This video became a milestone for Google's overall brand, as it was the first sign of brand expansion to products beyond search, like some that you might see on the right. With this video, Google set the tone for all future ads to focus less on product details and more on evoking emotion. This new direction brought us to Google's Year in Search campaign. These video advertisements, dating back to 2010, are released each year to tell a story of the highlights that best define the year. Like mentioned before, Google's motto is to go light on product details, and here, that product was Google Trends. So instead of showing you how Google Trends can be used to analyze marketing statistics, instead they opt to tell you a story. Now that we understand where this campaign came from, we can begin to analyze it as a whole. Google's director of global media claimed that their target audience is everyone on the planet. Now, while 7.8 billion seems like a gross estimate, why don't we first do a little bit more digging? Research has shown that since 2000, web searches have grown over 2,000%. Google now receives over 2 trillion searches a year and owns more than 90% of the search market. And the average person performs 3 to 4 Google searches a day. That average Google user can be better defined as seen on the left. This is probably useful in targeting for some of Google's other products like the Google Pixel or Google Home, but for these emotional year in search videos, the target audience seems to span far beyond the average Google user. This is because, for these videos, the target market is truly everyone. Their approach is something called empowerment marketing, as explained in the Story Wars excerpt from last week. Here, Google emphasizes the power of the audience by casting the viewer as a hero, and Google Search as the helper. This helps make the video easier to spread because it is empowering and inspirational to everyone. In terms of segmenting, targeting, and positioning, Google doesn't really benefit from segmenting their customers if their ultimate goal is to connect with everyone. So instead of segmenting people, they segment the data, dividing the trends over the past year based on inspirational value. Then, targeting is a selection of those trends that they want to focus on, and positioning is to determine the overall goal or theme of the video. For example, in 2019, it was heroes. From there, it's all about empowerment. Google's chief of marketing officer said it best: if we don't make the viewer cry, we fail. Thus, the end goal is to empower humanity and highlight how truly powerful search can be. As a result, a virtual brand like Google can expand to life outside of the computer. They connect to you through search as opposed to simply relying on it as a useful tool. The campaign is certainly an emotional USP, as it taps into your emotions to offer a specific and unique reason to use Google. Our book states that the leaders of the creative revolution believed that a successful position were those that struck a human chord. That would put this on par to be the most successful campaign of all time. I think the best way to see what type of positioning strategy that is being used here is to separate ourselves from the story that Google is trying to tell. What then remains is a high-end tutorial of some of the new features, attributes, and benefits of Google Search, but nothing in terms of new products. That makes this a subtle form of horizontal positioning. The marketing channels are pretty basic. Google owns YouTube, so most of their content airs there. Then, if it tests well, it can move on to TV ads. It may also be featured on other social media platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, etc. In terms of metrics, I was able to graph the amount of viewership with each year's video in order to analyze the success of the videos through YouTube metrics. As you can see, the videos have become generally more popular year after year. In 2016, the videos tested incredibly well and went on to win a 2017 Webby Award. During this same decade the videos have been released, Google has a whole surpassed $1 trillion in market capitalization, and their stock price has increased by $1,000. These videos do a phenomenal job at keeping a family-friendly, outward-facing image while portraying some of the lowest times in humanity, helping everyone learn and grow as a whole. But as you may have noticed, there were a few dips in the graph. This was most likely due to the video rehashing some of the controversial or politically sensitive topics of the past. So my only suggestion for this campaign would be to work on finding that fine line between euphoric empowerment and controversial change. I think honestly Google probably has done this by now, given the spike of engagement over the last 3 years. These videos utilize empowerment marketing to take its brand to the top. We look forward to next year's videos to show humanity stronger than ever as we deal with these extremely difficult times. Until then, search on. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you all in class.